and give me 5 more minutes, Joe.
Yes,
Let's just
we got
quickly break down this UFC card, this last UFC. Charles Oliveira,
Unreal.
big deal. Is he the real deal?
I think so. I mean, I've been a big fan of his for years,
I
just
was a
because he
huge
can
fan
do
of his
both,
when
man.
When he was new, he was known for that guy who like had that hard kick, and this gym is known for its kicks. And I remember like, oh, this guy has hard kicks. I like this guy already.
Yeah.
And I heard that he broke his coach's forearm holding pads just from kicks. I was like, this is my guy. I like this guy.
Yeah. I
You
mean,
know?
he's good. I mean, he can do it all, and I think
Yeah.
he's a real example of a mixed martial artist that can fight everywhere.
Yeah.
He'll choke you out and he'll knock you out. I mean, he's fun to watch.
Yeah.
He's experienced. I mean, I think he's the real deal, man, and I think he looked great. And I would almost put him up there is hopefully for another shot soon. I know he's been calling out the winner of Conor and Poirier, which would be a fantastic
that's gonna
fight.
be really good.
But those are the types of fight I think he needs, he deserves.
Yeah.
I feel he's a company man for the UFC who's done a lot for them, who's actually, never said no to things, has worked his way up. So I think he's a guy that kind of deserves that. But that fight card, I got to bring up
What
my
a
boys,
card.
Rob Font.
Rob Font.
My
Man,
boy
his
Rob
boxing.
Font. So Bazooka here, we got a nice close connection with the New England cartel. We actually had Kelvin Cater come train here at Bazooka with me, his coach Tyson and his
He's got a
manager.
big fight coming up.
That's
We'll
who,
talk about that
honestly,
another
like,
day,
I mean, that's one person I'm going to bring on the
Yeah.
channel. It's the manager and coach of Rob Font and Kelvin Cater, Tyson Chartier. We've become good friends and kind of going back and forth, helping each other. I mean, he's helped me a little bit with Malcolm. I help a little bit with Kelvin. So we keep a good connection. So that's someone I'd like to bring on and to discuss the coaching, the managing side of that level.
That'd be amazing.
That would be a phenomenal one. But Rob Font came in, knee surgery, recovery, comes in, and to beat Marias the way he did, woo.
Ooh.
And I mean, Rob Font, Kelvin Cater, it's their long, straight punches, man. See that jab Rob threw?
Yeah.
Rob's a beast. He's an animal. I mean, their boxing levels.
What a crazy team.
They
they
trained
have
with
there.
Mickey Ward in Boston together. So
Really?
that long
Oh,
jab
shit.
of that whole team is phenomenal.
Yeah.
And even when you watch Kelvin fight, he almost does it with his jab, but more with his right hand. He'll hit you with his right hand, and then you think that's his distance, and then boom, he lengthens the strike and he cracks you because he'll like make the strike like 5 or 6 inches longer. And that's what Rob does with his jab. So you never know the range and the length of their technique, and then boom, he finishes you like that.
Yeah.
But
Oh, that team has got some
Yeah.
crazy potential.
yeah. Oh, yeah. So, again, Tyson, we're going to get you on here, buddy, because I think it'll be a great conversation.
And I mean, he's fighting Holloway next time. I'm talking about Cater.
Yeah, maybe
Holloway
before that fight, we'll get Tyson,
Oh,
and we'll ask him on.
great because Holloway is a beast.
Yeah. Honestly, I'm telling you, put your money on Kelvin. Put that money on Kelvin.
I'm gonna go on Kelvin.
Drop
I
it.
love
Yep.
Holloway though. I'm a huge Holloway fan. So you
Okay.
know, I don't want to bet against him, but I think Calvin's got it. I think Calvin's the up and comer. I think he's got the power to deal with Holloway. Holloway's scrappy though. He's gonna stand there. He's gonna scrap with.
I hope
with
so.
him, and it's gonna be
I hope
one
so.
heck of a fight.
Yeah. I'm
love
really,
it.
that's my fight I'm most excited for,
Yeah.
hands down.
Yeah, me too.
Hands down, doesn't get more exciting. The only other fight right now that could get me excited would be like I like watching Francis Ngannou. I like
everyone loves watching.
But
Ngannou.
it'd have to be Ngannou versus John Jones.
Ooh,
That would be the only one outside of Kelvin fighting now that I get super excited for.
Oh,
So
okay, let's
that's
make
the
a quick
one I'd wanna
prediction on
watch.
that because you brought that up. Ngannou versus John Jones.
I think-
Can John Jones beat Ngannou?
can he? Yes. Will he? I don't know. I think Ngannou's going to be heavyweight champion.
I agree.
He'll beat Stipe in my eyes, and
I
I
think
think
so.
he will not be beat for a long time.
Really?
Who's going to beat him in heavyweight?
Well, CP already beat him once.
Yeah, before he knew anything about the ground or fighting. I just think he's a different
I
level
think he
now.
will be champion. I agree with you on that because I think he's going to touch the champion, and that's it.
Once
Lights
he
out.
touches you, you're out.
Lights
Too
out.
big, too strong, too powerful, too aggressive, too raw where he's learning so much every day
Yeah,
still.
and he knows
guy's a
it.
monster.
Yeah, and
Too
he's got
big.
that confidence, like, I'm going to kill you when he walks in there.
I mean, I think he's going to be the one to do it, man.
Yeah, maybe. Maybe you're right. But that's a good one. And how good was it to watch Jose Aldo kick again?
Yep. To see him finally kick and
To
put
kick
things in
again, that's what he's
combination. See how
known for.
damaging his kicks were?
Oh, my God,
Aldo
he's so good.
stresses me out from being the best low kicker in the
Yeah.
world to not kicking at all and
At
only
all,
boxing.
And he fell in love with boxing.
Yeah, but he was back to his old school power combinations. You see the one
Oh.
cross hook, low kick, boom,
So good.
swiping legs
And it
out.
opened up his
power.
boxing.
Yep.
Like
Yep.
once you
Old
feel
school.
that power of that kick, it opened up his boxing, and I'm so glad to see Aldo back.
Yeah, and he's
doing what he
calling
does.
big fights. He wants TJ Dillashaw return. I
Yeah.
think he deserves it. Good fight. I mean, you would think Aldo's a lot older than he actually is. I just think he's a man who's been through so many wars, tough upbringing, long career. He looks older than he is. So I think he's got a couple good fights in him. And if he continues to fight with that power and the confidence and the way he looked, I mean, he can get another title shot probably soon.
Yeah.
Beast.
And when it comes to the main event, let's talk about Stephen Thompson really quickly, because I know you made a controversial video about how to beat Stephen Thompson. I mean, technically, you beat somebody like him. So, come on, give the man credit. He beat someone like him in Raymond Daniels, right? So, Stephen Thompson, first of all, how can you not like that guy? The nicest guy in the world. Like, he makes me laugh how nice he is. I love Stephen Thompson. I'm a great fan of him. What do you think he's got next? Like, do you think were you impressed by that performance? Do you think he has what it takes to then push on to someone like a Jorge Masvidal or a Colby Covington?
I think he's a tough fight for anyone. I think that's his style, because he's a good distance control, knows how to move, hit on angles. I just think whoever he fights, it's difficult.
Yeah.
I mean, ideally, you need to wrestle him. Like, when Woodley was the champ, like, it wasn't an exciting fight because it's really difficult to go in. And if you just rush in against Wonderboy, you're going to get knocked out.
Yeah.
So, and then when you go to try to hit him, he's gone. Or then he hits you and he's on another angle. You know, like, he's very difficult to touch and hit. So, I mean, I think whether you're a phenomenal wrestler, and that's the problem with the welterweight division. The welterweight division at the top, you have to be able to wrestle really well. Like, if you're going to get past the Colby Covington, a Kamaru Usman, you better be able to grapple, and you got to grapple at a high, high level. And I mean, I just think Wonderboy with those guys are able to keep range, move. Will he be the champ? I can't really see it, but I also know that whoever he fights, whether it's Kamaru or Colby, he's going to be in a tough. It's not going to be an easy fight. And I know he wants Masvidal, a rematch with Masvidal. So, I mean, either way, I think in the top 5, he gives everybody problems.
And I think his top 5 are pretty aggressive fighters. All of them are pretty aggressive.
Yeah. You have to close distance. If you're going to play a game with him where, like, you're going to hit and move, nope, I'm sorry, man.
Yeah.
Like, you got to close distance with confidence, and when you do, you got to try to capitalize on it.
But Stephen Thompson fights well against those people. He's so good at sticking and moving, whereas Woodley he might have spurts of it, but for the most part, he plays with his back against the cage.
Yeah.
And Thompson's not a forward-pushing.
No, they both want to counter,
They
right?
both want to counter. So I think
fight.
it does make sense, like Thompson fighting these top guys. He has that opportunity, that chance to beat them simply because these guys love to come forward.
Yeah.
And Thompson is great at those counter kicks.
But the problem is, if you don't go forward against Thompson, it's like
it becomes a dancing match.
It becomes a boring dancing match.
It becomes a boring dancing match, yeah.
But the problem is, you can't just, this is what I try to say, you can't just go forward on him. You got to go forward intelligently with a system and a style. So, I mean, like, a lot of people will say, well, like, the high guard doesn't work. But I mean, you might use it for a second. There's different ways of closing distance safely to be able to do it. You can't, like, you're not going to do what Jose Aldo did to Conor McGregor. You're just not going to throw from a distance. You're going to get caught because he's exiting and he's going to counter you as you're coming in. Yeah. That's the whole beauty of, that point karate style. So the difference is you got to close distance, and then when you close distance, you strike, or try to initiate a quick clinch where you can touch him first and then try to attack off of that, or try to chop the legs from outside. But even chopping legs, he throws that counter rear straight right at you all the time. So, I mean, you might throw it, but boom, and then he sits on a quick punch. So I just think he's an experienced fighter. He's 38 years old, been doing martial arts since he was born. It ain't going to be an easy man to beat. So
what would you do? What would you have done different with Jeff Neal's game plan? Because Jeff Neal clearly came up with a high guard, come in, looking to box, and try to close the distance with, like, maybe hit him with an overhand right or something. It looked like he was coming with a boxing-centric type of plan, high guard, take a hit.
But he was chopping the legs a bit.
He was
but he just wasn't getting enough damage.
He wasn't getting enough damage. What would you have done differently in Jeff Neal's?
Just more of probably putting things in sequence together. Like, I mean, if you're going to get inside and try to throw ones, you got to kind of use a little bit of cage control and then just try to attack more in combination. I find is a good one. I mean, if you're going to fight these guys and try to throw a single shot.
Tougher to do in MMA.
Yeah.
On Raw.
But, I mean, that's where fight warrior spirit is against a guy like that, man. Like, if you're going to sit there and try to play a single point with someone like that, it's difficult. Yeah. It's like my fight with Raymond Daniels. If I fought Raymond Daniels and just tried to play a single point game, the guy's going to hit and move. I'm going to be chasing him the whole fight. So you have to, at one point, to know that if I'm going to close in, I'm going to get hit once, but I'm going to counter his counter. You know, I have to go in, I'm going to eat a shot, but the shot I'm going to give after, I'm going to hit him with 2 that are good, powerful, and then hope for something like that. But you can't just sit there on the outside and expect to get a single shot and to win a fight like that. You're going to have to, one, try to clinch up, grab, hit him on exits, or counter the counter. But like I said, easier said than done. It takes a special, you know, striker on the feet. And I mean, that's where I think someone like an Adesanya comes into play, where I think to beat someone like Adesanya, I really, really feel you have to be a really good striker. You got to beat him. You have to be a very good wrestler, but it's still hard to close the distance on someone like that. Same thing with Wonder Boy. So in order to beat these kind of guys, you have to be a specialist in stand-up striking. This is what I think. I mean, I'm sure wrestlers will be like, well, the opposite style works. But I mean, well, look at Izzy. Like, we've had wrestlers go against them, maybe not the best of the best, but they still couldn't have any chance taking him down.
Yeah.
So I think you have to have a good striker. Like, who beat Wonder Boy Thompson? Pettis knocked him out because he's a competent striker, being able to sit there and give out those big shots. So, I mean, it's tough. It's not easy, especially with the 4-ounce glove. I mean, one little quick touch on the chin, you know, you're going out, you're getting knocked out. So the risk is there, but I just think it's important that to fight someone like that, it just takes a lot of confidence. It takes a lot of just being okay with getting hit, and a lot of people aren't.
Yeah, you got to be tough.
Yeah, you got to be tough. You got to close the distance.
Because he's so fast. He's so fast and so quick. And I've noticed that he even throws like these little like front side uppercuts out of angle. Yeah. Like he's boom and he's out.
Even his footwork, boom, like, boom, hits, steps out, creates an angle, then he's gone. You know, very well done. Yeah. The guy's, you know, definitely a true martial artist and deserves all the credit.
Yeah, but yeah.
So maybe I shouldn't have done the video how to beat Stephen Wonder.
I mean, I think you're trying to give off the idea of like, how do you beat someone
with that style,
with that type of style, that karate style that's unorthodox, right?
But again,
people want to
Pettis, you know, Anthony Pettis said he watched my video, that video just before, on the way to the arena to fight Wonder Boy Thompson, and he said, I'm the man who gave him the strategy on how to beat him. So the video's there, videos to work.
Shout out to Pettis too.
Yeah.
What a win.
Yeah, another OG guy, and I mean, I heard he's a free agent now, so it's excited to see where he's gonna go.
Yeah.
But, I mean, just Wonder Boy. I like him. I think he's great for the sport. Yeah. He's a good energy. But, yeah, I still would fight him, and I still would beat him.
That would be great.
Yeah. That would definitely be one fight in the UFC that I would be interested in.
That would actually make an excellent fight. An MMA rules, you versus Stephen Thompson.
Yeah, that would be the fight that I would really, really like. If they, I mean, he's sitting at top of the world, if they want to make it happen. But that would be, if someone were to ask me, pick one fight you'd want, that would probably be it.
I'd love to see that fight. No,
yeah, me too.